Hi. So I don't have Shep with me right now, so it gives me the opportunity to tell you a little bit about how Shep actually learns. So right now, Shep is actually with his dad for Thanksgiving weekend. I'm divorced. We do every other holiday. So I had him last Thanksgiving. He has him this Thanksgiving. So everybody's like, "Where's Shep?" That's where Shep is right now. He's, I believe, at Busch Gardens right now in Virginia having a blast. So good for him. Um, I wanted to talk about a little bit about how Shep learns. So it's interesting. So Shep, if you ask Shep, Shep will say, "My mommy doesn't do anything. She doesn't teach me anything, except I make her sit down and do a workbook with me." He's forced me into buying workbooks so we can do workbooks so he feels like he's learning, and he doesn't actually realize that he's learning everything that he does, because when he gets the workbook he already knows what's in it. So I wanted to explain how I do it. So what we do is everything is play based. All of Shep's toys are educational. So he thinks he's just having a blast playing, but he's really learning. Also, while he's playing, I've looked up and researched a whole bunch of curriculums. So I went through different schools, different states, different countries, and went through them and went, okay, this, that. He has to hit this, he has to hit that, he has to hit this, he has to hit that. And doing that, he has mastered the PK, which is what grade he would be in if he was in public school around here. Because he just turned 5 in October, so around here, that would make him PK. Yeah, he's not PK. He's pretty much almost done with the kindergarten curriculum. There's a couple things in language arts that he's a little bit behind on. Science, he's already ahead. History, he's already ahead. He's at first grade history. Same with geography and social studies. He does I do SEL with him, which is emotional stuff, which really, Shep is pretty empathetic anyway, so I didn't really have to teach him much of how to recognize people's emotions and how to express himself, but we did go over it, and we do go over it a little bit. Just so everybody knows, he's not missing a thing. Math, he's at a third to fourth grade level right now. It's in between because we don't go at the level of what the schools go. We go at Shep's level. So he's third to fourth grade level without the coins. The coins is a struggle. He knows them a little bit. He's getting better, but it's been a struggle. He's not really that interested in it, so I don't push it. Once he gets to the level where he has to know it, then we will push it more. But right now, he's just not interested in it because I don't think he sees coins anywhere. He sees people buying stuff online, and I use a card when I go places, so he sees that. That's to Shep, that's buying things. You use a card or use your phone. He doesn't really see money anymore. It's not like when we were younger. So anyway, I wanted to talk about some of Shep's toys so people can see what he plays with. These blocks are definitely above Shep, as you can see. I'm trying to get it. Why won't it focus? Focus. Focus, focus, focus. Oh, come on. Maybe a different color. Oh, there we go. I wonder if that's backwards for you. It looks like it might be backwards. Okay, so as you can see, let me get a different one. They are here. Here's a more common one. The elements. Yeah, I know, you're like, elements, he's just turned 5. No, he's not at that. However, I have him playing with them, so it gives him the idea and the thing of, and he looks at them and stuff. And when he asks, he will ask, and we will look at it. Like he asked me the other day what the H and the O was, besides spelling ho, which I looked at him and then I realized he was talking about Santa says ho, because I was thinking something different. I was like, ooh, did I say that in front of him? Oh, God. So I'm like, that's not usually what I would call that. I usually have a different word. And I don't think I said that one in front of Shep either. But I was a little scared at first. So, but he asked about that, and we discussed H2O and stuff because he has heard that. So I have things that are to open the door for him to learn higher, but we don't go to the higher level until he's ready, until he looks for it. But I get toys and stuff that not only are at his level, but above. So he can get it how, do it when he's ready. And if he doesn't play with them correctly, that's okay. He's still learning. Also have this. We throw it around. We find the country. Really fun. He enjoys it. He has another little one too that he plays with. That's an easel. It's a little desk on the other side, and on the other side there's an easel, and this is a chalkboard. That's pretty explanatory. These are awesome. They're these magazines, and they come with little like toys, or these have the little alpha blocks on them. He loves watching alpha blocks and number blocks. That's another thing. All of his cartoons, I do. He doesn't actually. He watches YouTube. He'll say he watches YouTube, but he doesn't. He watches YouTube that I've gone through and picked the shows. He watches alpha blocks, number blocks, Dr. Binocs. He watches SciShow Kids. I'm trying to think of a few others that he watches. He watches Preschool Prep. There are so many, and there's so many others. He watches, I think it's Singing History Teachers too, because they have some funny songs. Then there's KLT is another one that he watches for geography and stuff, and they have all sorts of stuff. There's so many great stations that he watches that I've gone through and picked out things that are for his level, but then a little bit above of what he's interested in. And we will still switch it off to other things when he asks and stuff or wants to watch something particular. But I have that going on as a background while we're playing. So and sometimes he stops to watch. I mean, this is cool. This is actually, I had to order this, a bunch of them from the UK, because they don't make them in the United States, and he's really excited about them. And the price wasn't bad at all. Like, oh my gosh, I wish our toys were the price of the UK toys. However, shipping, that's where they got me. But if I lived in the UK, they wouldn't have. I was like flabbergasted when I saw the prices of these magazines. I mean, let me show you this. I was just amazed by this. So this really cool thing, Alpha Box. Jeez. It's a box. Open it up. It's magnetic. It came with a magazine and all the little magnetic letters and a magazine for like $25. Let me tell you, I've been looking at educational toys. You can't get something like, and cards and activity cards too. It was like, I was like, wow, like it was. I'm amazed. Now, I mean, you can still get good deals around here. Like there's a dollar store. I'll put that back after because I'm going to be fidgeting with that. I have to. Oh no, I got it. Awesome. I mean, there's stuff like the dollar store. Like this ball is from the dollar store. His dice. Loves to play with dice. We do math games with them from the dollar store. So there's things like, I mean, there's definitely affordable things around here too. But it just blew my mind at their educational toys, of the pricing. I was like, oh, okay. It's like their website's giggly.uk. So, and it does it by like a certain amount. Like if you buy like $50, your shipping is this. If you buy like $75, then it's from that to that. So like when you order, you want to get like like it's like 0 to 20, they do one range. Then 21 to 50, they do another range. So like when you order, you want to try to get it up to the higher. Like if you're like, okay, I definitely went to this. Well, let me add other stuff so it's because the same shipping rate. So I've done it just because he loves the toys so much, and when you price it out, it ends up being cheaper. Let's see. What else does Shep have that's his musical instruments? We do music. He has a whole bunch of musical instruments. I've gotten them from Amazon, and he actually will watch things once again on YouTube because I don't know how to play these things. And he'll do the things and stuff like that, and one day, no, no word of a lie, Shep had his um sorry, one of my friends calls it a glockenspiel, so I always get confused. The xylophone, I get confused if you call it a xylophone or a glockenspiel. Yeah, I go by the seat of my pants, guys. It's amazing that somehow I have him learning so well. This Shep was playing with one day. I left him alone for a few minutes. He started playing Twinkle, 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 Little Star. I looked. None of his learning things I'd taught him. He had just figured it out from watching things about musical notes and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. Once again, you give them the toys, you give them the time, and you play with them, they learn. Another toy that may not look like a toy to other people, but to Shep, this is a toy, and him and Mommy have a blast. Like I said, he's not good at coins, so because he's not quite there, and he should be compared to the other math he's at. We got this from the dollar store, and he circles the things and does the coins and the things to make it. And he plays store that way. He plays store regularly too, but this works too. He also plays Monopoly, and he's very good at Monopoly. It just seems to be the coins that are the issue. Like the dollars he gets, it's just the coins and remembering which coin is which. He just turned 5, so it's okay. But I mean, it's just strange because you're like, oh wow, he does like multiplication and division and all these other things, and he knows like, you know, the parentheses and stuff, and then you're like, oh, but he doesn't know the difference between a dime and a nickel. Like, because somebody will be like, well, he doesn't know this. Well, yeah, he's also just turned 5, so there. But you know, obviously by the time he gets to the grade level that they actually would be teaching that in, he'll know it. So that's the beauty of homeschool, and it's okay too. Like, so Shep's above. That's just Shep, and that's how I do it, and all through play. And if he wasn't, that's okay too. But how I've done it is Shep is above doing this method. We also play games, so I'm just going to take my phone. It's easier. Come with me. So all of his games, and don't mind my mess because it's always messy. And right now I don't even have Shep to blame it on. It's just... So his board games, all educational. On the other side of his board game rack, we have his number thing, which I did actually just clean. Oh no, he still has some. So he has numbers and letters, his little thing. His books that he reads, some of these are educational, some of them aren't. These are great. If you don't have these, they are amazing. I highly recommend them. Highly recommend. Shep loves them. So, if you don't have those, I recommend. He also plays apps too. So there's apps and games online that he plays. We're having a hard time finding one to cover every subject though, that he, like I hear of people that use just one app or one like system, and I've had a hard time because some he'll like the language arts, but he won't like their math. Some he likes their social studies, but he won't like the other stuff. Like, so it's hard to find, for us at least, it's been hard to find just one that Shep likes, whereas he kind of likes like one subject from one and another subject from another and another subject from another. So, and science, he likes the one that we found for science. He has a few science games that he likes. He actually likes the PBS Kids Science app, but then we got him another science one, and it seemed to be just like their social studies program was awesome. I don't want to say the name of it right now just because, but their social studies program was awesome. Their math program was very repetitive. And their science program was like, but he likes it, and it's all games. But the science program was just videos. And it was also Dr. Binex and Sci Kids, and he's like, I've already seen this. I'm like, yeah, you have. Like, because he watches those shows. This globe, awesomeness, he attaches it to his phone and can look up places, and it gives him information about things. like the places, the countries, the culture. Really, really cool, cool toy. And once again, he thinks he's playing. He doesn't realize he's learning, and that's so cool. Um, Einstein mouse. This thing is awesome. You just have to check because there are some, like, I don't have the card that's wrong, but there was some cards that I'm like, no, you're right, Shep. And he's like, yeah, I'm right. The mouse is wrong. I'm like, yeah. So with all the toys, you have to check because sometimes, I mean, people are human. They make mistakes. And then these are MathLink cubes. He loves these. Plays with these. One of my friends actually got this for him for his birthday, and he loves these so much. He builds with them, and let's see. And I'm thinking that's probably it. I just really wanted to get into the thing of how when Shep's not here, I wanted to get into how he doesn't know he's learning, and he's having a blast throughout the day. I mean, we're running around, we're jumping, we do sight words and we dance to sight words. We've played Pictionary with sight words. We've played Pictionary with vocabulary words. We do math games all the time. I don't really the geography, we do the ball, we'll throw the ball. Where did we land on? Stuff like that. He has games that he plays for the solar system. He has, let me show you. He's really into this space and the solar system. So solar system game. I mean, everything is games. Everything. Everything we do, we play games. We literally play games. Here's fractions. He has another fraction game too. He likes fractions. Every time we have pizza, we have to do the fractions out of the pizza. But here, these are other fractions that he has. He has blocks that are, I don't know what he has connected right now. All fractions he plays with, and he's learning while he's playing. I don't push. He pushes himself. And that's the best thing. He pushes himself and is having fun, and I just add on what he needs to learn in a fun way as we're playing. So I figured I'd just let you guys know. So I know some people wonder, well, how is she doing it? How is he learning? That's how. We're playing. Literally playing, dancing, having a blast. From the moment Shep wakes up to the moment he goes to bed, he's learning. All day, all night long. So if you have any questions about how he learns or anything specific, I am always willing to answer questions or help out, because I was petrified. Petrified. Oh, yeah, see? Messy. Even without Shep, it's messy. I'm like, got pillows everywhere. Here's my mess. But I am always willing to tell somebody how I'm doing it or anything like that, because I was petrified. I did not know how I was going to homeschool him, what I was going to do, anything. Like, it was a very scary time last December when I realized that there was no school that could let Shep be his age and not have him bored for math. So, and that's why we started homeschooling, because his and then everything else, it's just blessing in disguise with what's going on with the schools. But our main thing for starting homeschooling was Shep was so above in math that he was getting bored in preschool and acting out and jumping on tables when they were trying to teach the kids number recognition. Well, yeah, he was already doing multiplication. He already knew what number 1 looked like and number 2. So, it's fine. But I was scared because I'm like, oh gosh, I have to get all these things in. I have to get all these subjects in. and I'm like, I got the music down. He does musical instruments. We talk about types of music. He listens to music. He dances, arts. He paints. He draws. He sculpts. He does. I get little project things from the dollar store, and he'll do them and crafts for him to do. He also watches videos of how to draw, and his drawing has gotten much better, except the hand. And then he has, I'll show you. He put his artwork on the fridge. I didn't even do it. He did. That's a dinosaur. That's a pizza man. This is cool. This I got from the dollar store. He loves to go he goes up to the window every day and looks at what kinds of clouds it is. His handwriting's getting better. As you can see, Shep's hand. He actually did that in Shep Goes to different classes too to help, and he goes to a science class. I try to get there weekly. It's a drop-in class, and he does that, and that's him writing it. But as you can see, so he knows you're supposed to do an S to show possession, that it's his hand, but he gets apostrophes and commas mixed up, so he always does it like that. It's super cute. But he's realized that's what he's supposed to do. So it's funny, and I do correct him, but I also let him do it because he pointed out to me, well, Mommy, I have to have Shep's hand, and does it like that and goes, I have to put this because that shows possession. I'm like, good job. He also knows his nouns. Here's a thing I wanted to show. I got it. Oh my gosh, it's another thing from the dollar store. It's great. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. This thing. This thing's awesome. It's all color forms. And he punched out the letters, and he can take them off and stuff like that. Let me show you. Awesomeness. Okay. So, nouns, adjectives, nouns. And Shep did these all himself. A couple he had a problem with. He read them all and then put them on. A couple he didn't know what they were. He had to sound somehow, like crunchy. He had to sound out. Some he knows, some he had to sound out. So, but then once he knew what it was, he pretty much knew what everything was, except we had arguments on happy, and he won. I said, because he decided happy was an adjective, he decided happy was a verb. And I go, well, no, it's describing something, Shep. He goes, no, it's more of that you are happy. Like, he goes, like, you are running, you are happy. And he pretty much said state of being without saying state of being. Like, that's what he was describing. And I'm like, I'm going to let him do it. I get what he's saying. I'm like, but you could see it could be used as description too. He goes, yes, but it could be. I'm like, that's fine. So sometimes you just have to let them have their thing. So he gets language arts by that. He also gets language arts. He reads his books, and he played some apps. Math, everybody knows he's ahead. You have to talk to him for 2 seconds, and you know he's ahead. Likes this game, Shape Whiz and Somology. Sight words. We're working on the United States, of knowing where all the states are and stuff. We're working on it. Like I said, I have it there. He can go to it when he's interested. And right now, once again, by doing all of that, he is above level. By letting him direct me on where he wants to learn, and me just making sure that all the tools are here for him to go at his level and beyond. So, thanks. Bye.